Who did this to you?
I can't tell you. I'm scared.
You have to tell me.
The wind howled across the endless plains like a restless spirit, dragging dust across the lonely ranch where silence had long been the cowboy's only companion. Caleb Mercer had lived most of his life in solitude, a man shaped by hardship, loss, and a quiet longing he never dared to name. His days were filled with labor, his nights with memories, and though the vast western sky stretched endlessly above him, his world had grown painfully small. That was why he had ordered a bride. Not out of desperation, but out of hope, fragile, trembling hope that perhaps life still had something gentle left to offer. For weeks he had prepared for her arrival. He repaired the porch that creaked beneath every step, painted the small wooden house a fresh shade of white, and even planted wildflowers along the path leading to his door. The ranch that once felt like a prison had begun to resemble a home. But nothing prepared him for what he found that evening. The sun had just begun sinking behind the distant hills when Caleb rode back toward his ranch, exhaustion clinging to his bones after a long day mending fences. From afar, something felt wrong. His horse grew uneasy beneath him, snorting and slowing its pace. The front door of the house hung slightly open, swaying in the wind like a silent warning. Caleb's heart tightened. He dismounted slowly, his boots crunching against the gravel as a strange dread crept into his chest. The world seemed to hold its breath. Even the birds had fallen silent. He pushed the door open and froze. A young woman lay collapsed beside the wooden table, her body trembling faintly, her face bruised and pale. Dark marks shadowed her eye, and a thin line of dried blood traced her lip. Her dress, simple, travel-worn, was torn at the sleeve. She looked fragile, broken, as if the world itself had tried to crush her spirit. Beside her lay a folded piece of paper. Caleb rushed forward, dropping to his knees beside her. His rough hands, used to breaking wild horses and hauling heavy timber, trembled as they gently lifted her head. She was barely conscious, her breathing shallow. "Miss, can you hear me?" he whispered. Her eyelids fluttered weakly, revealing frightened eyes filled with pain and something deeper, terror. His gaze fell to the note. With shaking hands, he unfolded it. "She belongs to us. Return what was taken, or next time she dies." The words struck him like a bullet. A cold fury spread through his chest. Who would do this? Who would harm a woman who had only just arrived? Caleb's jaw tightened as something ancient awakened within him, a protective instinct he thought long buried. Whoever had hurt her had declared war. And he never backed down from a fight. He carried her carefully to the small bed near the window, cleaning her wounds with gentle precision. Though his hands were large and scarred, his touch was soft, almost reverent. She winced occasionally but never cried out. Hours passed. Night wrapped the ranch in darkness as a storm gathered beyond the hills. When she finally awoke fully, fear flashed across her face at the sight of him. "You're safe," Caleb said quietly. "No one's going to hurt you here." Tears filled her eyes. Her voice trembled. "They'll come back." "Who?" Her lips quivered. "The men who followed me. They think I have something." Caleb leaned forward. "Do you?" She hesitated, and that hesitation told him everything. Her name was Eliza Hart, she explained slowly, her voice breaking between words. She had answered his letter seeking a bride, desperate to escape a past she refused to fully reveal. But during her journey west, dangerous men began tracking her. She did not know how they found her, only that they would never stop. "They believe I stole something valuable," she whispered. "But they don't understand. It isn't gold or money." "Then what is it?" Her trembling hand reached inside the lining of her torn dress and withdrew a small object wrapped in cloth. A locket, simple, ordinary, yet the moment Caleb touched it, he sensed its weight was far greater than its size. Inside the locket was not a portrait, but a tiny folded document, a land deed bearing the seal of a powerful railway company. The paper revealed evidence of illegal seizures of homestead lands, proof that powerful men had been forcing families from their homes through violence. "Evidence worth killing for. These men destroyed my family," Eliza said, tears streaming down her face. "My father discovered their crimes. They killed him for it. I ran with the proof." The truth settled heavily between them. This woman had not brought trouble to his home, she had brought justice. And now that justice lived under his roof. Caleb stood slowly, staring into the darkness beyond his window where lightning split the sky. "They hurt you because you did what was right," he said quietly. Her voice broke. "You should send me away. I never meant to put you in danger." He turned toward her, eyes burning with unwavering resolve. "You're not leaving." The words were simple, but absolute. From that moment forward, the lonely cowboy who had ordered a bride out of hope became something far more dangerous. He became her protector. Days passed under constant tension. Caleb reinforced the ranch, set watch through sleepless nights, and taught Eliza how to shoot. Beneath the fear, something unexpected began to grow between them: trust, understanding, and a quiet affection neither dared to name. She discovered the gentleness behind his hardened exterior. He discovered the courage within her fragile frame. Two wounded souls slowly finding light in each other. But danger was closing in. One cold morning, hoofbeats thundered across the plains. Riders, armed men surrounded the ranch, their leader calling out demands for the girl and the locket. Caleb stepped onto the porch, rifle in hand. "You're on my land," he said calmly. "Leave." The leader laughed. "She's not worth dying for, cowboy." Caleb's voice turned to steel. "She is to me." Gunfire shattered the air. What followed was chaos. Smoke, thunder, and courage colliding beneath the vast western sky. Caleb fought like a man with nothing left to lose, defending not just his home, but the fragile future he had finally found. When the battle ended, the attackers fled. But the war was far from over. Eliza stood beside him, shaken yet strong, realizing that this man, once a stranger, had risked everything for her. "Why?" she asked softly. Caleb looked at her, his voice rough with emotion. "Because you walked into my life broken, and somehow made it whole." Months later, the evidence in the locket brought powerful criminals to justice. Stolen lands were returned, families rebuilt their homes, and on that once lonely ranch, laughter finally replaced silence. The mail-order bride who arrived beaten and hunted became the heart of the cowboys' world. And the note meant to threaten them had instead forged a bond stronger than fear. A bond built on courage, sacrifice, and love. If this story touched your heart and you want more powerful, emotional cowboy stories filled with courage, love, and life-changing moments, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join the journey. Your support keeps these unforgettable stories alive.